Hey guys, welcome to Casual Corner Chats. I'm Luke.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Sam.
I'm Boo.
And today we'll be talking about international travel. All right, so you guys, we've all been traveling a lot lately. I feel like everyone in Sydney has the travel bug.
Yes.
Where have you guys been? How was it? Oh, we'll go where have you guys been? Vu?
Europe. So Germany, UK, Greece, Belgium, and the Netherlands as well.
How long did you go for?
6 weeks. 6 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks.
Damn, boy.
That's
good
a
time.
long
He loaded
time.
you guys.
Wow.
He's loaded.
I'm poor now. But
Got it out of your system.
I mean, nah, bro. It's still
Still
there.
there?
It's still there. No, Defcon and Tomorrowland. So yeah. It was
Yeah,
it was
he's a raver boy
6
as well,
week
Sydney.
trip.
Watch
Yeah.
out for him at next one.
I'm taking, so it's all right.
What about you, Sam?
Well, I went to Korea early this year,
Oh,
which was fun. Solo traveling, so that was pretty good.
oh wow.
And then I just recently came back from America. So I went to LA and New York with two of my girlfriends.
Oh.
What? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Sorry. I knew. Okay, maybe America. I knew. I just
Yeah.
didn't realize either you went alone or with
Yeah.
others. Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was a
respect.
good mixture. Yeah.
For me, it was Europe as well. I mean, I met you too, Tomorrowland. Hey.
FOMO, guys. FOMO.
Like for real though, you just
Don't worry, 2026, 2026.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Europe. So that was mainly Spain, Italy.
Yeah, I forgot about Spain. I did Spain as
How
well.
could you forget
Yeah,
about
I proposed to
Spain?
my girlfriend in Spain. Oh no.
That's so true.
Netherlands, and then Belgium to cap it off. And then I was like layovers here, but we don't count layovers, right? Yeah.
Oh no, Malaysia. I was in Malaysia for a day, so that was fun.
You actually went out.
Yeah, actually
so
went
that was
out,
pretty
yeah.
good.
On
Yeah.
your way to Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, respect. Okay. But yeah, that was for about 3.5 weeks.
Yeah.
A bit of it was solo traveling, a bit of it was with friends, and then Kentucky tour as well.
How was that? Oh, we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah,
Wait, did I say how long I went for?
No.
No. Oh, so LA and New York was total 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
How long was your career trip?
Sorry?
How long?
Korea was a week.
Yeah.
A week solid.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a good amount of time.
No, not bad.
Okay.
But yeah.
You just
I-
reminded me, that's all.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I went to China in May. I went for 17 days. And then I went to Europe for 3 weeks, like 2 months later. And then I went to Japan.
Bro, fuck you. What? Yeah, this is
I was going to say, it's like
I'm
6
rich.
weeks.
What the
I was like, it's like 6 weeks and then
She's the real baller here, you
she's
guys.
actually
Brother.
beating us.
No,
this
Qantas
setup,
points.
she bought
Qantas
it.
points.
You have to spend money to get Qantas
I
points.
mean,
You also have enough to have
Anyway.
enough leave.
No, it's
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
Qantas
that too.
steps. For steps
What
apps,
is
you
this?
guys. For steps app.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
good.
went to Japan for 4 days
Love.
because that was all the leave that I had.
Yeah.
And yeah. That was all
So
Qantas
good.
points, actually. I got a good deal. So,
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad.
Wait, so for China?
I was in Shanghai for 17
Okay.
days, yeah.
Wow. Oh my God, Shanghai would have been awesome.
Yes.
And who did you go with?
Went with my dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
Oh,
remember.
nice.
That is
Okay.
nice.
Is
Yeah.
that
I
the
didn't
first
know that.
international trip that you guys had together?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, well,
Wow.
I probably, as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As an
Of
adult,
course.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
first international
Wow,
trip,
that's
yeah.
Oh.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
You guys got along well?
Yeah,
Learned
yeah,
about
I
each
thought it
other,
was
or-
really good. I definitely get along with my dad more than my mum, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then
That's so
he got
good.
to experience Shanghai again for the first time in 20 years.
Wow.
So that would have been great for him, yeah.
For sure. Like he would have probably seen
Everything
so
was so
much.
different.
Yeah.
And then
like
so many
much
of the
change.
streets, he was like, oh, this used to be this used to be that.
That's
and now
cute.
it's
That's
changed.
nice though.
Yeah.
That's
That's what I
really
want.
nice. Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
genuinely want to experience Vietnam that way.
Yeah.
I haven't been back in like 20 years.
Wow.
As well, actually. Last time I was 6 years old.
Whoa, that's
Wow.
longer
Yeah.
than I haven't been to Malaysia. That's
Yeah,
What about your
it's crazy.
parents? Have they gone as well?
Yeah, they've gone more recently. My dad just came back like a couple weeks ago, really.
Okay. Why haven't you gone then?
No money.
No, I mean, it's cheap as hell, right? Like, I think I'm ticking off like Europe first.
Yeah.
Like the
Okay.
faraway
Priorities,
countries
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
like the closer ones. But yeah, like I do need to go before my parents are like too old.
Yep.
Like I
Yeah.
want them to show me around and all that sort of stuff.
for sure.
But yeah, the heritage thing. I don't know. Have you ever done that?
We always go back to like
the family house.
Yeah, the family house.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and it's like a whole wall with like the family tree, who's related,
Wow,
and
so
who got married.
man.
Yeah, and all that. We're supposed to make
Damn.
a banner here as well, just
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
most of us moved here. But yeah, it's like a
That's
whole
incredible.
tree. I have photos I'll show you guys later.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
There's actually a booklet as well. My grandpa's like, oh, here's the extended part because we couldn't fit any more people into the wall.
Dude, that's lit.
That's
Yeah.
also very like structured and very like thought
Yeah.
through.
Okay.
No, especially post the war, man. Like people
Yeah.
don't keep track. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's also very sexist because all like with females aren't mentioned on the wall.
What?
Okay.
Because like any other daughters, because it's all about like, the daughters can't carry the family name.
name, oh.
So they're not included onto the wall.
Okay,
Right.
that's less
That's
cool. But
something.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
part of this issue. But yeah.
the concept is cool. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys, so what made you guys pick these countries? And did you enjoy the trip? Any pros and cons? We'll go Viv.
yeah.
That's a loaded question. There's a lot to talk about.
I mean,
I
it's
think.
Tomorrowland and DEF CON. Like we all planned to go to Tomorrowland.
Thank
except
you, Jenny.
Yes.
Sorry, thank you, Jenny. That was the one trip that got out of the
Yeah.
group chat. So that was nice.
Yeah.
And then
It's
like
not that we didn't invite Sam. I didn't know Sam at the time.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
yes,
true.
yes, that's very true. That's
This is
very
pre episode.
Yeah,
pre
yeah.
podcast.
and then I got a little bit greedy because I was like, over in Europe already doing a rave, so why not check out DEF CON? And then DEF CON was 4 weeks before Tomorrowland. So I just did that and then traveling in between and then came home and then got sick for like 2 months. So yeah.
The Tomorrowland cough.
Yeah. It was worth it though. I was like,
Yeah.
I'd do it again. But it was a good time.
Besides Tomorrowland, what was the big highlight?
Seeing family. I have a lot of family over in Germany. That's where they ended up after the war. So it was good catching up with them. First time seeing them in about 10 years as well.
That's a really long time. I feel like, to be honest, I feel like you don't travel as much as you'd hope to.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like you don't.
And when I do travel, it's like a lot. Like in
Yeah,
the
like,
small.
yeah, like it's like all at once.
Because before
true.
this trip, I went to Argentina and
Philippines.
Brazil.
Philippines.
Oh, the Philippines.
Philippines,
But that was,
but that was short.
That was 2 weeks.
Yes.
So the big trip before then was
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
And Argentina
Pre-COVID.
and Brazil for about 2 months. 2 months in total.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a good time. But that was pre-COVID type stuff. So I've been itching to go for a while now.
Yeah.
No, it's fair.
But because of life and work, like it's pretty hard to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, family over in Germany. Haven't really like traveled with friends before as well. Like this is something that I want to bring up later too.
That is the next topic.
Yeah.
but
That was also, that's also something I can relate to too. Yeah.
I weirdly missed the boat when it came to like, going to Japan with your friends and like traveling around with friends and stuff. Like,
You also
Yeah.
still haven't done Japan.
yeah,
Period.
that
But
also,
yes.
yeah, which is
Yes.
a crazy thing for
Yes.
me. But yeah, like I've done a lot of the whole, like all of the solo traveling type stuff, and this period was more like spending 1 week with this person, 1 week with this group, and then like 1 week with family. So it was a nice.
Like a good mixture.
Yeah. It was a nice. I barely spent any time by myself, so it was a nice juxtaposition between like that trip and the last trip.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
For sure.
Not bad.
For sure.
What about you, Sam?
Well, Korea's always been on my list, like pre-COVID. Like I honestly like planned a trip to go to Korea, and then obviously that fell through because of COVID. But yeah, I love like the culture, the food. Like that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to go. And I think at the time, like I didn't really know anyone who really wanted to go, and also I've never really traveled with friends before.
Oh, really?
Like internationally.
Yeah, same.
Internationally, yeah.
That surprises me.
Yeah, it's always been my partner at the time,
Okay.
which hasn't worked out the best normally. But anyway, that's another story as well. But yeah, like I think but like I also do love those like, those memories over there, but with my partner at the time. But I think, I don't know. I think I really just wanted to like see Korea by myself and like experience everything that I wanted to do and not really have anyone like not holding me back, but like I don't know. I just really wanted to just really see myself.
Completely
And
understand.
that was an awesome experience, and I would highly do it again. Like,
Did you feel safe?
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Okay.
like actually, Korea was actually really, really safe. Like, it's crazy. I would go to the bathroom and leave my stuff there, like at a cafe, come back and nothing's gone. Like,
Bro, I don't do that in Sydney.
yeah,
Like,
no way, no way. I wouldn't do that anywhere else, to be honest, other than like some Asia.
I would do that at uni.
I'm so paranoid.
That's,
Like,
uni's okay. Uni's okay.
I guess.
But it's a bit harder. I don't know, for some reason. Like, I think, Korea was really safe. And I didn't struggle with like the language barrier, surprisingly, not as much as I thought I would.
Did you know Korean?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
I can kind of read,
Yeah.
but I can't really speak. So, but surprising, like everyone was pretty like English friendly. So that was okay. So yeah, that's pretty much why I really wanted to go Korea. And then this New York and LA trip with the girls, like this was my first like friends trip. And I've traveled with them before. Actually, yeah, I have traveled with them before, but not internationally. So I went Tassie with them. I think 2 or 3 years ago now.
That's still flying over water.
Yeah.
Because it counts as another country. Barely counts as a state, but you know, there's
I'm
buzz
like,
by.
But that was like a really great trip. So I knew, like we all knew that we wanted to travel internationally, and we made, you know, what's the line that you said before? We got the trip out of the group chat,
yeah.
something like that. I never get that right. Never get that right. But yeah, so the initial plan was actually Europe, but I think for the amount of like countries we wanted to do and like how we wanted to kind of like lay out the trip, it wasn't enough time.
Yeah.
And we only kind of had 3 weeks in mind. So then someone just like randomly mentioned like New York. And like we all jumped on the bandwagon for that. One of my girlfriends has previously gone. So that was like another reason she was like really keen to go. So, and she's told us great things about it. So, yeah, we were keen to check it out. And
I'm going next year, so I need that list.
oh my God, yes. I will give you all the recs of the food.
Yes,
oh my God, food was incredible. But yeah, no, one of the things I found really interesting about New York is like everyone was like, or like even America, everyone was really friendly. And
everyone is really friendly.
Yeah, and like really helpful for, like, to be honest, even nicer than some Australians I've actually met in
I
person.
agree.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if it's because
The
you
accent?
have to tip them.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, it's not even that. Like people just randomly
Just
on the street.
Yeah, okay.
were like really friendly. Like
In New York, right?
in New
what
York,
about in LA?
yeah.
New York
LA
is
was
friendly.
pretty nice too. Yeah, like everyone was really lovely.
Okay.
I didn't feel.
Wait, are they just like walk up to you friendly, or is it just like, oh, you talk and then they're friendly? Because I mean, like,
Yeah, true.
they're fascinated by our accent, so
Yeah.
maybe it's like, oh, you're a foreigner, oh, I can help you out, kind of deal. You know what I mean?
No, I think it was like we were like, there was three of us just like struggling with our bags, right? And then this like lovely gentleman just like came over and was like, oh, do you need some help with your bags? And then he lifted all of our bags up to this bus that was like packed, and then he like made us like saved us some room to actually get onto the bus. And I was like, that was really sweet. Yeah.
Suspicious.
You just
Yeah, I'm like,
let a
looking
guy
suspicious.
No, but he was also
hold your
he was
bags.
also a traveler. Like he was also traveling, but like I didn't expect.
That you're aware of,
Pardon?
you know what I mean. Like he says he could be a traveler, but
Well, like it
just
was.
lived down the
it
street.
was-
Look, she had a nice experience. We're
That's
not taking this away from
no,
that.
It was.
After
it
the
was.
fact, like,
I
you know,
know,
it's
right?
horrible. Like, it's fine.
No, it was pretty much like it was like one of those buses that all take us to a rental car area.
Okay.
So I knew that he was traveling
okay.
because we were all
Okay,
going
yeah,
to
yeah,
like
yeah,
a rental
yeah.
car like spot, right? So
So he wasn't
yeah.
even American.
Pardon?
Was he American?
He was American.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
One of
interstate.
them was. One of them was, I believe. Yeah.
Because, like,
Pretty
that
much.
juxtaposed against the gun violence is
Yeah.
pretty surprising.
100%. No, but even just like not even at like restaurants and like obviously like tipping's another whole thing, but I think just people like on the subway and stuff like that. Like there was a man who like literally, so I was by myself and I was like struggling down these stairs like to like get this luggage down, and like he actually like saved the door open for me to get onto the subway.
you struggle a lot with your luggage, hey?
Hey, okay.
She's so small, bro.
I am
Like,
tiny, but also it was more than 20 kilos.
Well, whose fault is that, bro? Like,
Yeah. It's not. I'm not disagreeing, but your girl can only carry so much. But yeah, I do struggle. I see.
I mean, in Europe, Luke bought one backpack. I bought
Yeah.
a personal size carry-on, a carry-on and a personal size like backpack as well.
Did you bring any snacks back? Probably not.
I mean, I just ate the food there.
Exactly.
Like,
But I brought snacks and gifts.
I think for Europe, you expect to move around a lot. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why
Of
okay.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
I can
oh,
imagine.
because you backpacked as well, right? That
I had a small carry-on, but yeah, backpack.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because you
Yeah.
and Crystal, that looked like it hurt. Like that.
That's because it's the size of us and we're small.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You just get used to it. It's like
Yeah.
you're in year 7, you have that big ass backpack.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Or you
Yeah.
just
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a very different
Yeah.
situation.
But yeah, so you found LA the same as New York, like kindness. Like, people were really nice there.
I feel like I didn't interact with as many people in LA as I did New York. But yeah, everyone seemed really lovely. Yeah. So
okay.
I think I just had this conception, or I guess like stereotype, that Americans can kind of be a little bit rude or
Same.
yeah, but no, everyone was really lovely. That was a great experience. And I think the highlights probably was going to see a musical. So that was
Bless.
I watched Wicked.
Okay.
Oh,
Away,
nice.
so that was pretty awesome.
Actual dream. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Fair
that was
enough.
pretty cool. First
Was that a thing?
ever.
Like you wanted to see a musical
Yes.
on Broadway?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's on my
And I
bucket
think
list.
I saved myself for Wicked out of all of them. Yeah. Honestly, there were so many highlights, but I'll stop talking now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn. So what do you call it? Again, we were planning to go on to Tomorrowland together. So that was why we went to Europe.
The sole reason.
And then we sort of had a miscommunication, and I was like in the middle, and then I went by myself because like we were like planning to go to Tomorrowland together, right?
Yeah.
And then you decided to go first.
Yeah. I'll take
And
that one,
then Jenny wanted Tomorrowland to be the beginning of her trip.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. But I like
we linked up. We all did our
Yeah.
separate
we
things, but we
did
linked
it.
up.
But
yeah.
I'm like, no,
Yeah.
but this is like a good
It's
chance
different
for me
timings,
to
different
like
trips. Yeah.
cross solo traveling off my bucket list. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? All good.
Did you enjoy it? Would you do again?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. In Spain, I stayed in Barcelona. It was absolutely beautiful. Tapas, you guys. Oh my god, the food. Oh my god.
I want that.
Yeah.
Think about it all the time.
I can imagine.
Getting around was all right. Humid was all right. I mean, thanks to Duolingo, I know how to read Spanish. Like, I didn't say it.
Nice.
I did make a mistake because I booked an Airbnb for the first few days, and my host is Spanish, and he barely could speak English. So he asked me in Spanish, like, oh, can you speak Spanish? I'm like, oh, a little bit. And he full goes hard
Yeah,
out.
no.
saying it. And I'm like, I got every second word. I'm like, oh, yes. And then just like through context, I'm like, oh, this is that. I
good.
got this,
Yeah,
the
that's good.
password.
Yeah.
Oh, numbers, yes. Oh, this and that. But yeah, but after that, it was pretty good. I guess one of the biggest highlights was the monastery in
Oh yeah.
in Spain.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But I kind of got tricked into doing like a full hike, which I did not expect. Like, because of it, it's like, oh, this ticket to on this tram thing that goes up.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
you just see over the mountain and all that. And then the path keeps going with like no signage. And then I just follow people. And next thing you know, it's like a full on hike. Like,
Oh no turning
like-
back now.
Yeah, exactly. And I like,
Was it like a
gosh.
pilgrimage essentially? Like
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, no, that's a
Yeah, like
unique
it was
experience, bro.
awesome. But
Yeah.
I had another set of I wore like smart casual clothes
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of the
yeah.
monastery. Like I didn't want to look improper. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I gotta change out. It's just too hot. I'm sweating it through.
Showed up in a suit, like hiking up.
Yeah, exactly. And then I wore something light and then climbed over the top with like my big ass backpack.
Oh,
And I'm like,
okay, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. But yeah, made it there, beautiful, worth the hike, and then like almost like slipped going down.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, but that was beautiful. Italy was nice. It was too hot.
I
can't
agree. It was
complain.
so
Italy's insane during the summer.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Minimum
my
40
mindset.
degrees, right?
Yeah, like my mindset's like I'm Aussie.
Whoa,
I can
that's
handle
crazy.
it. I'm from Vietnam. I can handle it. The humidity, but
It's a
40
different
degrees.
heat. It's a different
it's
heat.
40
Yeah.
degrees plus every
Oh.
single day. Like I got dark, like
Yeah.
beyond Filipino dark.
Like they look like raisins for a reason.
Yeah. But the culture was absolutely amazing. People were nice. Like my feet hurt as hell, like because you know the old traditional roads and all that. I was like,
Cobblestone streets.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. It was really hard to walk
yeah,
on.
exactly. It
Yeah.
hurt like hell. Did a Kentucky tour down south to Italy. Met amazing people. Got a lot of them was like Aussies. I expected more diversity, to be honest.
No,
Oh,
Kentucky
still
is like
nice. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Aussies essentially.
Yeah,
I did it
yeah.
before. It's
I
pretty
feel
great.
like it, yeah.
Yeah, but that was a good experience. Like just getting to talk to new people, socializing, exchange, rotating around groups and all that. It's just
Getting
good.
obliterated every night, waking up barely making it on the bus.
Unfortunately, the issue was that all our activities we had to get really early.
Yeah.
So no one had like the capacity to like stay up that
Wow,
late
you guys
until the very last
you
night.
guys were like,
Well
And
behaved.
the issue is
Behaved,
with
yeah.
the issue with Kentucky tours is that apparently it's like separated into sections that you can jump on at any time. And I jumped on at the end of like a 3-part adventure one.
Yeah.
So a lot of people already bonded already, and it's hard to get in, and they already partied hard out for the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
two
yeah.
sections of the entire
I
trip.
see.
But I was like, oh, still nice, like talking, getting to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a nice roomie. We, what do you call it? We got to know each other well.
Bonded.
Yeah, bonded and all that and whatnot.
That's such a different like solo experience. But we'll talk about that. Like, I did no socialization, and I kind of was like, I need something. So I ended up talking to this random stranger, like who was Australian, but like I think he was European. I think it was Polish. And I was listening to him like speaking English to someone on the phone, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna strike a conversation because I need it out of my system to talk to someone.
Yeah.
I think this was literally the day before I left, and I was like, I need to talk to someone after the week.
That's fair enough. Like
Right? Like,
when I was by myself a lot, especially in Spain, I just signed
Yeah.
up myself to like tours and all that
Yeah,
around
so good.
just to like meet new people and just
Yeah,
socialize.
same.
and just-
Like it's really comforting
love
hearing
that.
the Australian accent. To be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah.
Like
I
when you're
agree.
just
Overseas.
overseas,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, home. It's
yeah,
This is one place I
yeah.
one of us. But yeah, what do you call it? But I would say Amsterdam was a bit of a letdown. It's mainly
I
it's
agree,
mainly due to the fact that it's so multicultural. It just feels like you're in Sydney. Besides like different scenery, like they have
see.
just wide range of different foods, and I guess because it was like the Tomorrowland weekend, you see a lot of Aussies as well there, and just everyone's going to Tomorrowland from Amsterdam.
It's like a city. It's just a city.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Amsterdam
exactly.
itself. Like I think you need to go out of your way to find the more cultural things. But if you stay within the city, then it's just like any other day in Sydney, quite frankly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like
Did you go to Red Light?
Red Light was interesting, very interesting. You guys should check it out. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And then they have shows, and they're all sold
I
out. And it's
see.
like I'd say 150 to 200 euros each per ticket. Always sold out. I'm
What?
like, damn. Like people are lining up to see people doing it with each other on stage.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, huh,
Now
okay.
there's a demand.
And I didn't realize that that the red light
supply. I
district
didn't know
was operating like 24/7. Like I was walking through the day, and then people like girls were like, "Oh, come." I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm
Yeah.
good, thank you." I didn't realize you guys were
Politely
still awake, but
decline.
I'm good, thank you.
Like,
But
So you
yeah,
didn't see any shows?
no, I couldn't be bothered because it was all sold out, and I was only there for like 2 nights, and I just couldn't be bothered. It was like a huge wait line every single time I
Wow.
walked by.
see.
Like, can't be bothered. But
Fair enough.
But yeah, Tomorrowland was it, but we'll leave that for another episode.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, we'll leave tomorrow.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, we'll leave it to like an episode about raving
About
or
like
something.
festivals and
raving.
raving.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good
yeah.
point.
But yeah,
Wait, so how long were you solo for then?
not including Kentucky or including Kentucky?
Including, I would say
Then
including.
it'll be 2.5 weeks.
good.
Yeah, because I had like a few days in. Oh no, I had like 2 days in Amsterdam by myself as
Yeah.
well, and at the beginning as well. But yeah,
Nice. That's so
yeah,
good.
really worth it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you again, Jenny, for getting out
Yeah.
group chat.
Oh, maybe I should go solo traveling.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, it's
Well,
great, dude.
It's so
Then
great.
again,
I think you'd love it.
I was gonna say, then again, it's a bit different because you're a girl. Yeah,
There
that's-
is male privilege
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
especially when I was in South America, the things that I got up to and the things that I didn't die from is like pretty insane. So
I would say just pick your country carefully.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I think
Like,
Asian countries would be the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
or like say for Asian countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even China. I think I would go to China alone. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can you speak?
Yes.
Okay, that would help. That would help a lot. Yeah, for sure.
But yes, what about you, Jenny? Your
Um,
holiday?
Okay.
Vacation.
Yeah, I went to
Holidays.
Shanghai. We talked about that earlier. I went with my dad, and then it was
Yeah.
good. We went to Hangzhou and then Suzhou.
Oh,
next to Shanghai. It's like they're like river towns. So my dad's originally from Suzhou, and then we went back to see his family, and that was nice. It was the first time I'm seeing his he has a brother here, but I don't see them often. But it's the first time seeing his family that were overseas.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. They're really accommodating. Like I think old people they just gave me like $500 like for no reason. They just like keep it like,
Oh.
and I was like, okay, I don't know you, but I have to accept this. So yeah, that was nice. Reconnecting with my culture. I think going back to Shanghai this time makes me realize that I would like to live there one day. And it's, it's so easy to.
I really want to go Shanghai. It's my next Asian country that I really want to check out.
And everything's so cheap, and then shopping's great.
Yeah.
And I feel like Chinese people are just so accommodating in China. Like they're so nice.
That's good.
I feel like the work culture there is pretty bad though, right?
Work culture?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I know it's pretty bad in Japan.
Yeah.
And South Korea.
Yeah, I think
South
Japan
Korea
is
as well.
really bad.
Yeah.
I don't think China is as bad. But they obviously have like the Asian work culture where like you don't have like public holidays.
No.
And I
You
think
stay overtime.
in China they don't have. I think Australia has a great holiday leave or like paid leave system.
Yeah.
Whereas like other countries don't do that. I think they have like 1 week off.
Yeah. Each country is like they have like certain amount of days, but it's definitely a lot less than
our
Australia.
4 weeks.
Yeah. I remember like looking at like a document about that, and it was quite interesting because I think Singapore is also really
that's terrible.
like up there in terms of like not having the work-life balance
I know Vietnam, for that, it's 2 weeks off. Everyone's off for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
in the whole year.
For that.
Just for Tet.
Your
for Lunar New Year. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But that makes sense because it's basically a shutdown period.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
Christmas or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And then after Shanghai, I went to Europe. I went with my friend. We did 3 weeks. We started off in London, then we moved our way down Europe to Italy. And then we flew back to London to fly back to Sydney. And that was really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Because you did the Dolomites, right?
Yes, we did the Dolomites.
I hate you so
It was
much.
so nice.
I hate you so much.
National Park.
Yeah.
That would have
It's
been
like
awesome.
mountains, like alongside like the northern
did see
edge,
photos.
right?
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
Italy.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. I highly
nice.
recommend going.
Yeah.
And then we also did Switzerland.
So bad.
Hey, you can't say anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Okay? You
exactly.
can't say anything. Okay.
We can definitely go next time. I feel like I think Crystal's really chill, so I planned a lot of it, but I obviously got some input from her.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to do those places, and
Yeah.
I love going out in nature. Even in Australia, I think nature
Yes.
here is really nice as well. But
This
then
is true.
if you go overseas, you get to see a different kind of nature. Like America has different landscapes that Australia definitely doesn't have, and
100%.
Europe is
Yeah.
really different. So is like
Yeah.
Japan and everything else.
That's
So
very
it's
true.
super nice. And then after that, I went to Japan with my boyfriend and a couple of his friends. We went for the weekend. I think it was a public holiday on a Friday.
Yeah.
And then I managed to do 4 days. So I just went for the weekend.
Yeah.
He stayed for a bit longer.
Yeah.
Did you just do
love
like
Japan.
Tokyo?
Yeah, we just did Tokyo. We
Yeah.
did some clubbing. Clubbing in Japan, next level. Holy shit, it's so good.
Yeah, that's on the list as well.
It is so good.
I've
That's on
never
the
done
list.
clubbing overseas.
Yeah.
Clubbing in Korea is also different.
Oh, yeah, I've heard. I don't know, like good and bad things. I've heard good and bad things about Korea, but
I highly
That would
recommend
be so cool.
going. Yeah.
I guess that just means like Australia clubbing is so bad.
I mean,
I think people.
when was the last time you guys went clubbing here, though?
Oh,
I was asked to recently, maybe
Too
in the
recently?
future.
I've probably gone a couple times this year.
Have you?
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the wow.
yeah. It's just wow.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
just
Wow.
a rave on a
I'm
Friday
gonna
night.
go to
Yeah.
WoW 3 weeks from now, I think.
Yeah, that's just a rave on a Friday night.
It is.
So
Like, it's,
Yeah,
it's
but-
a club.
It's still a club.
It's
Hey,
clubbing.
I'd be down.
It's
better than the
I I'd like to go
Wait for me.
clubbing.
I need. I haven't been to WoW yet. Let me.
I mean, same, but I haven't been either. So,
You guys should
we go?
I mean,
We'll see. We'll see. We'll plan
I've
around
been.
it.
It's
Sure.
actually pretty fun. It is pretty fun.
It's nice for girls. Like we get to dress up. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm seems to like dress up, but like if you know you're going with a group of friends, I'm like,
Yeah.
can you just dress up?
Yeah.
And like wear some nice clothes, and
Yeah,
it's nice.
have some fun.
so like formal
No,
type
no,
of attire.
like clubbing.
no? Like, okay. So I have no idea what
But
it
like
is.
you don't like normally wear clubbing attire to like out anyway.
Yeah, but it's like a hard style club, right?
No, you don't wear, but it's
it's like-
Ivy. It's still Ivy.
It's
Yeah,
still
it's still-
Yeah.
they
But
still
you
have
can't
like
wear
regulation.
rave gear.
Yeah,
You can't wear
Yeah.
a singlet. They're like
Yeah.
no
That ain't
TNs.
happening.
No
Yeah.
TNs,
Yeah.
no lad wear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds unique.
That's good. Yeah,
that's fun.
I love Japan. I've been
Yeah.
3 times now. I think.
Nice.
That was my 3rd time.
So good.
Yeah, just-
Wow.
you have to go.
Yeah, it's on the list. It's just
Yeah.
there. I don't know why I haven't.
Honestly.
Because it's like,
Because it's there.
yeah, exactly. Like all the Asian countries, Australia can go anytime.
don't take things for granted.
I know, bro. I
Yeah.
can buy
It's
tomorrow.
there.
Yeah, you
It's like how Americans they're happy to go to Europe, but they can't be bothered trekking out to the Asian countries just because it's so far.
that's
And
true.
like, but like Australia's like, oh, we really want to go, but it's just so far.
Yeah.
Like what? It's like 16 hours to get here from Australia. Oh, to America.
yeah.
It's
It's 13 hours to LA.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
so
actually okay. I didn't struggle. Like, I took the flight from Sydney to LA. That was 13 hours. My flight from New York to Auckland was 17 hours coming home.
Oh, like straight?
Straight.
Yeah.
Wait,
Straight.
I thought my flight from Sydney to LA was like 15 hours. Oh, yours was
Probably just a good
13.
time.
No, I
Maybe.
think mine was 13. I think mine was 13. Yeah.
Wait.
Okay, anyway.
But
Wait, I just want to reminisce about my trip. So,
wait, first I want to go back to Jenny and just ask
okay.
about
I'm sorry.
like,
I'm sorry.
have you ever traveled with Crystal before? Like internationally?
Yes.
You have?
Japan, yes. We
Yes.
went to Japan. Our first Japan trip.
Oh,
I was with her.
that's so exciting.
Yeah, I think we're good. Where she
Good
likes to
balance?
do whatever, and then
Yeah.
I'm probably more decisive than
Yeah.
she is.
In
But
the
yeah,
planning,
I think it's a good balance. It would be nice to have someone a little bit more decisive as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that,
you can't, so you can turn off a little bit.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. I can tell her, like, she's okay to pick up things when I'm like, hey, can you do this? And
Yeah.
she'll be like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Nice.
We have traveled before and it's good.
So
yeah.
good.
I think traveling with a girl, you can like just
Yeah.
sleep in the same bed as whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys sleep in the same bed, 3 of you? Like get a king bed or something?
So
that'd
one
be
of
so good, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it saves so much money.
well, oh my god, like New York and LA accommodation was ridiculous. Specifically New York
Oh, yeah.
accommodation. That was like I've never spent like that much money in my
I would
life on
imagine,
accommodation.
Like minimum, what's a single night?
Oh yeah.
I want to know what to
I'm
expect.
gonna talk like 400.
A night?
Yeah.
Dude, were you in like the city?
Brother.
We were in the city.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. Because if you stay in Sydney CBD,
Yeah.
that would be an average of
yeah.
like 300.
It was
400.
kind of expensive, but
Wait,
it was for
Aussie
safety.
or American? That changes things. 800 American?
Dude, that's a lot.
Oh, wait, sorry,
1.5,
800.
1.5, so like 600. I think, honestly, I think it was like one night was 600. But that was only because it was for like, it was one, like my last night by myself. So that's why it costed that much,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Like if I had like another friend, it was going to be 300 split.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep,
So that's why it was expensive. But what were we talking about? Oh, so in terms of sleeping, no. So one of my girlfriends is a really light sleeper. So she, like any movement, she wakes up. So we always had 2 beds at a time. But then she left like a week before like I was going to be leaving. So we moved to a new accommodation to also like be more central in like Soho. So I stayed with one of my other girlfriends. And we just had one bed. So that was pretty convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of beds, me and Crystal shared a tent in Tomorrowland.
Oh,
And, like,
yeah.
I'm so glad we got 2 blow up beds.
Yeah.
Because they're so easy to like when one side moves, the other side like moves a lot. And like Crystal got up
Yeah.
in the middle of the night.
We were just too tired. We just didn't
I was just going to ask. Because
couldn't-
we shared one bed.
Yeah.
Wow. No, well, first of all, our tent was like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
tiny.
Yeah, true.
Like
Okay.
it just fit the 2 beds. And then
Wow.
our luggage was like squished in front
Yeah,
of
we
the
set
bed,
that
and
up.
was it.
We know.
Yeah. Sorry.
Camera. Not
No. Like, yes, we did set it up for the girls.
Yeah, Jenny and Crystal stood there while we set it up for them.
And it was raining and
behind the
everything.
scenes.
Yeah.
It was a choice we made, but still. Like,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it was like, I think when Crystal sort of like rolled over to my bed, like the middle. I could feel her shifting around at night, and I was like, oh, yeah. But it was good to have 2 separate beds. But I can't believe you guys didn't.
Yeah, what was your experience?
We were fine, like because we was just so tight, and then I feel like I was either our mattress would be slightly deflating as well, so I was like on a slant out of the time, so I'll be half on the mattress and half like on the floor as well.
Oh my god!
And my leg is just like pronged up, so it's just like 2%. And I was just like, okay, I'm cool.
Yeah, honestly, like it was
Chill.
a place to sleep, and we didn't get rained on.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the only problem was like when it got hot.
Oh, the
it
tents
got
were
hot.
so hot.
And that's not
Pros and
anyone's
cons,
fault, you know?
because we had
Yeah.
there was days where it was like really cold, and it was just
Yeah.
like easy close.
So cold at night, but so hot during the day. Tell me.
It's Europe. It's Europe.
Yeah,
bro.
just Europe.
You know, baseline is cold.
Yeah.
And then
Like
when
I
the sun
was,
comes
insane.
I was shivering in the morning.
Oh no!
out,
in summer.
no, I was all right. I mean, yeah,
Depending on the day.
we're in the middle of nowhere as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the farm
Fair
life.
enough.
But yes. Anyways, Vu, time for you to reminisce.
Yes.
So landed in Amsterdam for a couple of days. So that was the only time that I was by myself. And then I met up with my friend and my cousin to go to DEF CON for the weekend. And then after that, it was a fun weekend. I highly recommend DEF CON. It's a wild ride. Very different to Tomorrowland.
Save it for the next episode.
Super intense. Anyways, after DEF CON, I then made it to Edinburgh to meet up with my girlfriend and her mother, and we traveled together for a little bit.
That's so lovely.
Yeah,
That's really sweet.
hit like the Isle of Skye, like 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 fairy tale type. It was like pretty crazy. Like when you get to Isle of Skye, like there's like a weird presence. Like it genuinely feels like there's like magic there. It's pretty insane. It's like castles and like all this fairy tale type shit. It's awesome. Highly recommend.
Got to experience it for ourselves.
It's really nice. There's a lot of like old stories of like, oh, that mountain over there used to be a giant and like roamed the earth and like
I see,
looked
I
after
see.
the planet.
Damn.
It was really nice. Yeah. So after Isle of Skye,
Is it folklore?
yeah,
Like,
folklore, yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
And the folk music is like there.
Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, after that, I went to Greece with my friend as well, the same friend that I went to DEF CON with. And so we did Athens for a little bit and then Paros, one of the islands there. And then Paros was also really nice. It's like one of the islands in like one of the Greek islands, but it's a bit quieter and more chill. So it's not like Santorini.
Santorini?
Yeah, where it's
Yeah.
like super loud, very expensive, very
Yeah.
clubby. It's like
Very touristy.
yeah, a bit more like family centric.
Yeah.
And
that's
food's great.
nice.
It's like really chill and nice. Beaches in Sydney are still better though. So it's kind of interesting.
Why is
No.
that? Why is that?
I think we're spoiled.
Is it the
here.
sand
Yeah,
or?
we're spoiled here. Like I think we have vast stretches of beach.
Yes.
Whereas like over there, they have like nice beaches, but they're very small. It's like a
okay.
kilometer at the most.
Yeah.
But we have like the entire East Coast basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
So
about the
after-
water though?
Yeah.
over there?
The water there is very warm, like super warm.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
It's insane.
Bit of heat.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in Greece, like
Yeah.
it's just like room temp essentially. It's just like, oh, okay, this is
Yeah.
this is nice.
Wait, so is it cooling at all?
Like yeah, it's cooling,
Yeah.
but it's not as cold as it is here. you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, after Greece was Spain. So spent like a week and a half there. Madrid, Barcelona, and Granada. Proposed to my girlfriend in Granada.
Oh.
So engaged now.
Yeah.
And then
So
after
happy.
that was Germany, I think, which is when I linked up with my family again over there, which is a bit of a break before Tomorrowland.
You fit so much in.
Yeah, also.
He did go for a
Sound like
while.
lot. I
No,
know.
he did go for a
well,
while.
Like wow.
I spent like a week, I think, at like every country,
That's so
Yeah.
good.
multiple cities in every
That's
country.
actually really
That's
good.
what I
did,
yeah.
I think that's a really good like
Yeah.
Yeah, the most painful bit was like getting on a plane the day after Tomorrowland because that sucked ass.
We even
on a
had
plane
trouble catching a
after?
train out of Tomorrowland.
It was
Wow.
awful. Just staying on I think it took me 32 hours in total to get home back to Sydney, including layovers.
That's not okay.
Yeah, so
That's
it was
really
like
not okay.
being exhausted and feeling dirty and like being sick. It was awful. Yeah, it was not a great time. All worth it. Though.
Everything.
So,
Yeah.
It was all
everything-
worth it.
Yeah, all
Worth
worth it.
it to
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's so good.
All right, you guys. So the next topic is not topic, but I'm going to Europe again for Tomorrowland, you guys. 2026. Okay, but this time I'm going with two of my pretty much best mates. Okay, now the question is, what do I do to make sure that we don't have a fight? We don't come back not being friends.
And this is the first time you've traveled with them?
Yeah.
Wow,
Like
okay.
I don't. This is first time traveling with people in general, like internationally. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like
It's exciting.
kind of worried because I'm pretty sure everyone feels the same way, but international travel is like a make or break situation. Like I've heard so many stories where you go on a trip, you come back, hating
Like
each
it
other.
could go either way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
With both friends and your
Yeah,
significant other. Yeah.
Yeah, you know that pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that we. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes.
We'll go
Wait, I
around.
want to know the story.
Oh yeah. Actually, go. We'll go around first. We'll go around, and then we'll leave Sam to laugh.
Gosh.
Last.
I don't
Tell
even
us.
know. I don't really want to expose one of them.
I mean, we don't know who they are. They don't know who they are.
I don't know who it
Just
is.
give everyone a
So-
fake name.
I'm just going to call him K. I'm going to call him K.
Okay.
Well, like essentially, this was meant to be a 3-week trip to Japan. And I think this was like towards end of, I think it was my graduation trip, like post uni. And I was really excited to go to Japan. It was like my first time going to Japan. And obviously I was really excited to go with my partner at the time. And essentially I find out on the day of our flight that he hasn't sorted out his visa. And
Do you need a visa to Japan?
Was it
I
a
didn't.
visa or passport?
visa
Okay.
I didn't.
because
need one.
he's not an Australian passport
Oh,
holder.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That makes more sense.
So that was a bit tricky. I was like, I don't know anything about visas and in terms of going to other countries because at that time I didn't. Sorry, because like Australian passport is pretty like user friendly in the sense of like you can go to many countries without applying for a visa. And Japan is one of them. So I was like, okay, check. I have an Australian passport. Like I'm fine. So I thought that he had obviously, gone through that process to check that. And then on the night of or day of the flight, luckily our flight was at night. Luckily, and pretty much we go to the airport together, and essentially he can't get onto this flight.
Can't
Wait,
get
they
onto
don't
his
let
flight.
him on
Nah,
the flight.
because he has no visa.
So you found out at the airport?
I pretty much found out like a few hours before I was going to head to the airport. And I was with my friend at the time, just having like lunch. And then, because he was going to drop me off at the airport. And I get this call from my partner at the time being like, I just realized I don't have a visa. So pretty much, so he couldn't get onto the plane at all. We were going to have a connecting flight to Taiwan and then Taiwan to Japan. And we thought, maybe he'd be able to get onto the flight to Taiwan and then maybe we could figure out visa. But it's not as easy as that with his specific passport. So essentially, I had to make the decision of whether or not to go on this flight by myself and this trip by myself for, however long. Like I had no idea at that point, but I didn't really want to obviously, I didn't really want to
Desert him.
delay that. And
sorry.
not even that.
Okay.
I was more worried about myself, to be honest.
Absolutely. You should.
Yeah. Like this was my last trip before I was going to go into full-time work. I guess in a sense. So I felt like I obviously really wanted to go to Japan. So I made the decision to go onto this flight, left him behind. And
You go, girl.
crazy.
Absolutely.
That was my first time solo traveling. Not by choice.
Yeah, that's...
Like to
He joined you later, right?
Oh, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. It was like, I think I was going to cry on the plane because I had not mentally,
Prepared for
this situation, right? And, you know, I was like alone by myself in a 3-seater and I was like, there was no one. And I was like,
Oh,
yeah, it was
That's
great.
the dream, bro.
That
That's
was
the
a
dream.
That was a dream. It was great. I was like, please don't, no one interact with me. The air stewardess was really, really lovely
Ugly
though.
crying,
Yeah,
like
just
sprayed out against 3 seats.
Yeah, but I was a bit like, what do I do now? Because like obviously like accommodation was booked for 2. I had like JR pass. Like I also had his JR pass at that point, and you need your passport with the JR pass to actually activate it. So I had to stay in Tokyo a little bit longer for him to come and then for us to actually go together. But he had his own ordeal like with his visa as well. Like our flight was on a Sunday, and he obviously contacted the embassy to try and get an appointment to arrange his visa, and like the next appointment available apparently was like in 2 weeks on a Tuesday.
wow.
And I was like, by the time he gets that, like he goes to that appointment and gets the visa, I'm like, I'm already probably like pretty much at the end of this trip, and I'm like stressing out because I'm like, I'm going to go to all of these cities by myself. I'm going to go to Universal Studios by myself. Like all of these things by myself. And I was not ready for that. And also I didn't want to do that alone at the same time. But he was able to luckily get like an appointment on the Tuesday, like the next 2 days. And then his visa came, I think, a week after, and then he arranged a flight. So he came, I think, 10 days into this 3-week trip. And so I was in Tokyo for like 10 days. I was kind of sick of Tokyo at that point because I had obviously explored everything that I wanted to do. And I was like, I just need a different scenery. But then it was really jam-packed because, we went to the typical countries of like Kyoto, Osaka, Nara. Then we went to Hakone, like near Mount Fuji. And this was with the JR Pass, like at the time, I only did it for a week as well.
Yeah.
So it was all jam-packed, like in a week.
So what were the vibes of the trip after he got there?
I think at the beginning I was annoyed.
Yeah,
Right?
as you should.
Like a little bit annoyed because I was like, he had one job.
Yeah.
Essentially. And like I kind of felt like I made it work at the end, but I was kind of like, at the beginning annoyed. And then I kind of felt really bad for him because when he tried to get to Japan, like he got to the airport, they cancelled his flight. So then he had to come the next day. Then his flight in the morning got cancelled and he had to like stay at the airport a little bit longer to like go on a later flight. And it was a whole ordeal for him as well.
Okay.
So at that point, I kind of was like, I let go of my anger.
Yeah.
And he came and like,
You're a better
it was
person than I am,
fine.
but yeah.
Pardon?
You're a better person than I
Yes.
am.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, well, like I'm surprised it didn't like end the relationship, kind of.
I think
That wasn't the thing?
no, that wasn't the thing, but I think I did hold a grudge.
Yeah,
Fair.
resentment.
Yeah, it wasn't like I think I stayed with him like 6 months after.
Wow.
That
Still a long
happened.
time
Yeah,
after.
still a long time, but because I think I do forgive like when that happens, and sometimes it's like a silly mistake because I've done it in the past where like when I went to Taiwan or I was going to Taiwan, I didn't realize I had to have a 6-month like passport thing.
Yeah.
I had like 3 months on my passport like left, so
You were just babies.
exactly,
first
like
time
trying to
travel.
figure things out.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt because I had been in a similar situation where I had to get an emergency passport on the day of my flight. Oh my God. Yeah, that was another stressful story with traveling. So please check that. That's like a tip. Like, oh my God.
Yes, I think
So what is the
Yes.
advice for our like listeners? Like, make sure your friends get everything.
Yeah,
Ready or
like
something?
Visa requirements.
definitely make sure like you've got all those travel requirements like
Yeah.
ready, like passport,
Yeah.
visa. Like I always triple check things, no matter like what country it is now. I always
We
check.
didn't need a visa, right? I don't remember.
For Europe?
Yeah,
No, we didn't.
yeah.
We didn't.
Oh,
Also,
that's so good.
Yeah.
None of the countries.
None.
Wow.
None.
'Cause it's
Australian passport's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Okay.
I think just in general, like an established level of responsibility, like everyone should be responsible for their own like
Yes.
passport visa application. Like
Yeah.
I can't be checking up on you and be like, hey, when does your
100%.
passport expire? You know?
100%.
So as adults now, like we've all traveled a little bit before, so I think just knowing the requirements,
Yeah.
you know, and like sticking to that and not doing that last minute shit is
Yeah.
like, you know, because I will leave you behind. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like
So
shut up.
That just reminds me
That's
of
fair.
myself because like I was preparing for my trip to Europe. I told you guys this story, right? But like I photocopied my passport, right?
Yeah.
But it was at Office Works. But I left my passport in the machine, took my copy home, and I was like,
Stressed for you,
at
bro.
2 a.m. I'm like, interesting, right? And I'm like, all right, my
That's
mom.
what I'm saying. Like, you learn these things.
Yeah.
You learn. You do.
Exactly. And then I was
Right.
like, so my mom's like, let's hope they open early and get ready because they open at 6 a.m. I'm like,
Yes.
let's hope they're good workers, get there early and whatnot. Nah, they open straight on 6 a.m. Office workers.
And your flight was what,
No,
9?
I used to work at Office Work.
Yeah.
Yeah, your flight was
Beautiful.
9 in the morning, right?
Yeah, 9 in the morning. And
Wow,
the
that
office
is
works is in
stressful.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
And it was like traffic, peak hour traffic, and they
Oh
open it
my
at 6.
God.
I'm like panicking, going down and all that. My mom's like, go this way. It's like, no, we're going this way.
That is stressful.
And yeah, we got mad. But yeah, it's a funny story about me.
Yeah. Like, I
Anyway.
feel like we all have experienced like some sort of like travel ordeal in the sense of like preparing for a trip.
Yeah.
And you guys, you just learn. Like,
I'm just
Yeah.
responsible, bro. Like I'm
As if you
prepared.
haven't had
I'm just
anything.
prepared,
Oh.
man.
But that doesn't mean that
touch wood.
to let like
things happen.
friends off that easily. Like still make sure that they still
Yeah,
do it.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
though
absolutely.
stuff
Yeah.
like this happens, still make sure that they do it, you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
I definitely agree.
Do
Yeah.
any words of advice?
I think like finding people who will, like it depends on how you travel, right? Like there are planners, there are people just that kind of just go with the flow type stuff. But if it's a long trip, then like being the only one that plans things all the time is like really tiring.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so like having friends that are able to tap in when you're just like, bro, I'm like tired, can you just deal? Then that's really nice, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like a day-to-day thing. Like, you know, if you have like 6 days in one city, maybe they can take on 2 of those like 6 days or something.
Yeah.
As figure out where to go, what to do, where to eat, you know.
Yeah.
where
Like
to
take
check out.
turns.
Yeah.
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 I think that's a
And
good
and I think
idea.
that's fine. Like that's not too stressful. Like 2 days, like you know, it's just a
Yeah.
shared burden type thing,
100%,
rather than like
yeah.
one person getting burnt out and then annoyed the entire trip.
Yeah.
When like you know,
I also think it's like a good idea. Like, I don't know, like everyone also has like obviously different interests as well. So like, wouldn't you want to make the most of like your trip, and like want to go places that you want to go, like, or like make a contribution,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that might be mutual like places, for example. But like, there might be some places that will differ. So
Yeah.
I think it's always like good to just input and like see if it can fit into the calendar.
Yeah. Because it also broaden each other's
yeah.
right like horizons. Like,
Exactly.
views,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that opens up new experiences that you might not expect and not like put yourself in. So I think it's always best to like just take those opportunities and not like, I guess, not input in that sense. Like, yeah, I think so. But I think it's also important, like when you're traveling with a group, for example, or like a small group of people, like I think it's also good to like have your alone time as well. Like maybe even take like half a day and just like, you go out for breakfast and do your own thing, and like you could just come back and like meet at lunchtime or something like that. Like, especially I think also understanding each person's personality is really important, but like just giving each other space and like breathe, because you're obviously, you're going to be staying together, you're going to be doing a lot of things together. So I think to give yourself like some breathing space and them some breathing space, I think it's good to just take some time and do their own thing. Because like that's what I did when, it was like 3 girls, we like together for 3 weeks, we're in like this one room together, like each of us would be able to like just go out, like do our own thing, and yeah, it was good. I think it gave us like some time to just like reflect as well and like just wind down and do things.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What about you, Jenny? From your experience, what is required for a happy friendship?
Well, I think
Happy friendship trip. I love that. That sounds cute.
I think you guys again with Vu's point, you need to plan properly and make sure that everyone understands the plan, and also be open to things
point.
going wrong.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
big thing. That's a big thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Nothing.
think planning as much as you can, like, is really important because then you won't miss out on opportunities. Because a lot of things that tourists do tend to need like bookings and stuff. So it's best to do that. Just make sure everyone enjoys the trip as well. That's important.
No, fair.
I think building up on that, like, don't plan every hour or every minute of the
Oh,
trip.
100%. Just
Like-
like make
Yeah,
sure,
be
like, if you
flexible
have
with
food
that.
reservations, book the food reservations. If you need
Yeah.
to book transport, book your transport. And if you need to
Yeah.
book experiences, book experiences.
Yes.
But like, if it's 100%.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So many things would go wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's going to make it stressful.
Yeah.
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 So I was looking online and I compiled a bunch of tips that like a bunch of websites put together, and these are the basic ones. Discuss your budget.
Oh, I agree. That
Oh,
is
that's
a good
a
one. That's
really
a good
good
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you got to
budget's
admit, like
really
if you think
important.
about it, if someone doesn't have enough money for something, it could ruin the mood and cause some friction between people.
And I agree,
Yeah.
like living styles as well. Like, what if one person like doesn't care how they live in a hotel or an Airbnb
Yeah.
or in a
Oh yeah, I'm like a
tent
hostel
per
type
se.
person.
Yeah,
right?
hostel
Yeah.
Yeah.
type. So
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
some people might
Everyone's
really want.
different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Like some people might actually want more space in like the Airbnb or hotel, for example. And,
Yeah.
like, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Budget's important. Yeah.
Flexibility. So pretty much being flexible on certain things. Don't be like stuck in your own ways. Of
course.
All right.
Yeah.
If someone wants to change their mind, let them change their mind. If you want to change your mind, let it be. Okay. It's all about communication, which is the next part.
Yeah.
Communication and setting boundaries. All right. Make sure that you know each other well enough to like be open to talk. If you have any grievances, you talk with each other. All right.
Yeah.
And not like hold it in and build up resentment.
Yeah.
And setting boundaries in the sense where like I need personal time. Let me do my own thing for one day and whatnot.
Yeah.
Next one is discuss trip expectations. Because
Those
like
are good. These
Yeah.
are good
Yeah.
reasons. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like if someone wants a party, that's completely fine. But like also
Yeah.
if you want to explore and just like travel and experience culture, then sometimes if you don't have that same mindset, it could cause some issues. All right.
Yeah.
And then maybe resentment is built.
Yeah.
Choose the right destination. So pretty much pick a destination that you both like somewhat agree on, or like
That's a given.
It's a minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly,
100%.
right?
100%.
I still like on the right destinations. Like you don't want to pick a destination that someone's like barely any interest. And I
Yeah.
guess this goes with communication. If there's no communication when you're picking the locations, then that also causes issues,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like most of my trips are location first, and then you pick the group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Rather than I want to go with you, and
Or
then
it's
let's
probably-
figure
or
out
it's like
where
together. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a together conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're talking to someone being like, and then a destination pops up and you're like, oh my God, that we should really
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's actually
That's,
wait.
yeah,
Did I just
interesting.
say choose the right destination?
Yeah.
That's actually the next one. Choose your friends wisely. So you pick the friends that actually want to go with you,
Yeah.
and not that just want
yeah.
to be with you, and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also like as well, like you wouldn't invite a full blown introvert to like a party trip, right? Or like you wouldn't invite them to like a Kentucky tour because Kentucky like requires a lot of socializing and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you got to pick them wisely and
Yeah.
know who fits with best. Handling finances. So I know I said discuss budgeting, but handling finances in the sense that how do you split bills? How do you split on purchases and all that?
Yeah.
Like you gotta talk about that, and like if you have end of a trip, you split it all evenly,
Yeah.
or do you want to do it separately, like throughout every meal? That depends on the person, right?
I think that's more to do with couple. In my opinion, if I were to go on a trip with my friends, everything would be split evenly. I think
Yeah.
because it's
This is true.
overseas, whereas like in Australia, it's whatever 1 for 1. Like
Yeah.
I pay for one meal, you pay for another
Yeah.
meal. But like, I think it's more of a grey area with couples.
Yeah.
Like who should pay for what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fair. Yeah. All right. Next one is plan together. Okay. I guess we have different views on this one. Like, obviously, you need some contribution on both ends, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
my
don't-
girlfriends and I did that. Like
Yeah.
we jumped on calls and like planned each other, like planned each kind of day together. Like we kind of had a list of like, I guess like touristy spots, and then we had like a list of like food spots. I think we're also quite like organized. We're a bit, yeah. But like we all kind of like we made a list of like all the food places that we wanted to go, and then we kind of like did a, you know, what's the Venn diagram thing, and then being like, what are the middle must do restaurants, and then we kind of just like fit all the other random.
I can
ones
imagine you
in.
guys just meeting up and like having a presentation each. We should go this place, sell
Yeah,
this
it was-
place. This is what it has. This is what you can eat. This is what I can eat.
Yeah. Well, I think with my girlfriends, we all kind of like the same things, which is good, and like we're all like foodies at heart. So like, food was like an easy thing.
yeah.
Food was an easy thing, but yeah. No.
Yeah. The last tip that I collected was hang out with other people besides the people that you came with.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it also creates space.
Yes.
You get to socialize other, like, you won't be stuck in a cabin fever situation.
Yeah.
And just talking to other people is just quite nice.
Yeah.
That's the point of traveling, right? Like opening
Yeah.
up your horizons and meeting new people and stuff. Like the best people you'll meet are like fellow travelers.
Yes.
They're like super nice, very friendly, very open, like hella accommodating. And like they'll give you tips and tricks, and like
Yeah.
the amount of people that I've met, it's just like, oh hey, when you're in this country, hit me up. Like that's lit. It's amazing.
Love that.
So more of that.
Yeah.
Talk to people. Don't be insular. Yeah.
Yeah.
World is big.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's just hope that I remember all of this for 2026.
Yes.
Guys,
But you
please
guys are
please
best
remind me.
friends. Like,
Yeah.
you guys already get along.
Yeah, but I like, again,
It's the fear, right?
it's just a feel. Like,
yeah.
Like
What
you don't
if-
want anything to go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't
Like-
you do like a local trip prior to see how
Yeah,
you
I think you
guys,
should
like,
actually do
live
that.
with
Like
each
just for
other or
fun.
something.
Like why not?
yeah, I guess maybe we'll
I don't think there's a harm in that.
finalize things in
Yeah.
January, February, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's fun.
Yes. So the next point I want to ask you guys: what are green flags that you look for in a future destination?
Food.
Food.
Yeah, food,
Straight
nature.
up.
But yeah, every country has food though.
Yeah.
I think honestly, we're spoiled for food in Australia.
I mean, that's
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Like,
I
The
do
diversity
agree.
of food anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
actually the quality
100%.
as well.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
say
yeah,
is actually
quality.
That's
pretty.
true. Like I
pretty
feel like
good.
we try something here and like get a taste for it. I'm like, all right, I want the authentic thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
true.
And that's what starts.
But in
our
Australia, it is pretty authentic,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I feel like.
Yeah, because the migrant population, right? Like you have people
Yeah.
from those countries
Yeah.
coming here making those foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like
100%.
filtered through.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough. What else appeals to you guys for you to go to that country?
I think nature and how expensive the country is.
Yeah.
that's
It's good
fair.
to get a gauge.
As a good
of
thing
that.
or a bad thing?
Oh, sorry. How cheap the country is.
Oh,
is
okay.
A good thing,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Fair.
Or not even how
Yeah.
cheap it is. I think maybe for like the quality to price.
Yeah, the ratio of
Yeah.
value.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
like for example, like Japan. Like I think you can get really like cheap things for sure. But I think even like the like normal price things, like the quality is so good.
I agree.
Right? So I think it's probably a mixture of that. Yeah.
For me, if anything that aligns with my bucket list, like the travel bucket list, you know what I mean?
Do
Like,
you
I
have a bucket list written down? Because you've mentioned this several times.
Oh yeah, it's on a
It's
Google
a
Doc.
thing
It
that
used
you
to be
actually
a
refer
physical
to.
thing, but then I folded up too many times and it just like disintegrated. So I
This is
transferred to
cute.
a digital copy.
Digital.
But yeah,
So how many things are on this bucket list?
it's like
What's the
200
next
stuff.
destination?
200.
Is it
Yeah.
ever growing, or is it like?
Oh yeah, I add on time to time.
Okay.
That's actually
Yeah.
insane.
Wait, it's 235 at this point. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a few that I've already done, but 235 at this point.
That's a lot of
And
places.
at when you can't travel anymore, do you want to have completed everything on this list?
No, I feel like I'll still want this list to exist because it makes life worth living. You know what I mean? in
It's like
sense.
goals, right? Like you're just
goals.
saying, moving towards something.
Like some of his stuff is like actually do with other people, like just do like 5 activities with a friend or something, or a group of friends,
okay.
just to like share the experience, you know,
Okay.
Fair enough.
and all that. But yeah, like
That's wholesome.
What's the next like country travel like thing on that list? Because we ticked a few boxes at like in Europe.
yeah, I
like-
ticked quite a few. Like
Yeah.
it's all on my
Can
Instagram.
you go through?
Yeah, true, actually, yeah.
It's such a big list. What was it? Sorry, just a second, guys.
Solo traveling was one.
Yeah.
Solo traveling was one.
Taking a photo at
Wait, have we
Tomorrowland
all
was one.
solo traveled? No. Not yet.
No, not Jenny.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet.
Visit a monastery, so that was the one in Spain. Visit the Vatican. Go to Pompeii.
It's cool.
Okay.
Throw
Wow.
a
Wow.
coin into the Trevi Fountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go to Tomorrowland. Solo traveling. Kind of redid cliff jumping.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only ones I can remember right now. But yeah.
No,
That's pretty good. That's solid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
I
are
was
big
gonna say.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, drink at a rooftop bar. Yeah, that's another one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cute.
But yeah, eat pasta in Italy. Yeah, that was one
Of
as well.
course.
Yeah.
Pasta.
Yeah, other stuff like that.
Yeah, I want to go Italy. Italy and Greece.
But yes. Yeah, that's what my green flags are. What about you, Vu?
I guess like uniqueness of experience. I guess. I don't know. It goes for every country really, but like, yeah, if it's something that I can't experience here, then I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
I don't know. Like all countries are green flags for me. Do you know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah.
I want to go everywhere. So
Yeah.
like
They only become red flags if you have a bad experience.
exactly right.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
If you get like pickpocketed somewhere, it's like, oh, that's a
Yeah.
red flag.
I mean, pickpocketing is almost like chill. You know what I mean? Like like non-violent crimes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like
That
I've
can
heard.
become violent.
I mean, it can but you know, if you
But
sort
yeah.
of leave it alone, then it's fine.
But
But like,
most pickpocketers aren't violent,
yeah,
right? They don't.
Yeah,
They just-
like
They
once
don't
they get caught,
resort to-
they just
yeah, they're just like whatever.
Yeah.
walk off.
I see.
but like, yeah, there are countries that I do really want to travel to, but like, heard resoundingly red flags things about. You know, like India, like really really unsafe.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
Egypt as well. You know, from actual Egyptians, it's just like don't go
Yeah.
there. Like you know, it's really really unsafe. Yeah, parts of South Africa, all that type
The
of
same
stuff
with
as
Mexico.
well. In the right spots, you'll be fine. But yeah, that's what I heard, anyways. So I still want to go though. So
Yeah.
you know, despite
Nothing's
the glaring
stopping
red
you.
flags, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah,
That's
But yeah,
fair.
that's me.
12 points.
For sure.
I feel like that's a good time to wrap things up.
Yeah.
You guys. So, last concluding question: what is a budget that you would tell our listeners, and to what country? The budget that our listeners should have. Because we've all been to different countries, so
Yeah.
pick a
Yeah.
country, you guys, and tell us, or pick a set of countries, trip, whatever, and tell us your budget.
But it obviously depends on the length as well of the trip.
Yeah, just
And
give
like
a-
really what you want
yeah,
to do, right?
Just
Like,
give a
I think for
approximation.
Korea, are you talking about like flights, accommodation,
All together.
food?
All together.
Oh, okay.
So for me, for my 3.5 week trip to Europe, solo and Tomorrowland included, I'd say 14K to 15K. But then again, I partied. So
Yeah, fair.
without the partying, 10 to 15K easy.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people on holiday where like money doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just like I save
Yeah.
up a bunch of money and then like I go through it on a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those 6 weeks, I think my total money spent was 12 to 13K.
What? Sorry, I was just surprised I said me.
Like what? There was some stretches. There was like a week long stretch where I didn't pay for anything because I was staying with family.
Right.
So that would help.
Yeah,
that
fair enough.
definitely helped.
But yeah, other
Yeah.
than that, you know.
No, okay.
I think my 3 week Europe trip was like 7K.
Oh,
Really?
Wow. Oh,
That's
actually, our
incredible.
flights were covered by points. So.
Oh, okay.
That's the
okay.
magic sauce, isn't it?
Yeah. What
I'm
is
still
point?
racking up my points.
Yeah.
But I think
No.
something other than Europe, I think for China, let's say Shanghai, for a tier 1 city, with flights, I think you could comfortably live 5K, 3 weeks.
Oh.
Wow, that's nothing.
That's pretty good.
Everything's so dirt cheap.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Food, you can live on food a day, like $5 AUD for a whole day.
Oh,
That's insane.
okay. That's next on the list.
Yeah, I really want to.
Yeah.
She's really selling it to me.
Taiwan. Okay. Yeah. Let's go, bro. It's just Asian
Yeah,
countries.
no, Taiwan's
Sam, what
great.
about you? Which
Well, for Korea, I think a week. I think I spent like less than 2K. Less
No,
than 2K.
that's a week, though. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but
Korea is
Flights must have been really cheap.
I think flights was cheap for me, but I think accommodation, because I only booked it like a week in advance, it was quite a little bit more expensive. But food wise, like you can get like
Yeah.
away with eating like
Yeah.
food cheap.
Asia's so good.
Yeah, Asia. I think if you wanted to do a place under budget or like under a smaller budget, like I would recommend Asia, like Taiwan,
Probably not Japan,
Singapore.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe not
not
Japan.
Japan.
Yeah.
Like Singapore, you could do in 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days, like max. Like you don't need any more than that. Haven't been Bali.
Oh, I love
Oh,
Bali.
no, Bali's cheap as
Yeah,
well.
Bali's
Bali's
really
cheap.
nice.
Yeah.
I've heard. I really want to go Bali as well. So yeah,
No, fair
Yeah.
enough.
I think there's heaps of Asian countries that
There
like
you
our
go.
viewers should go.
But yeah.
That is affordable.
No, fair enough. Well, you guys, if you want a part 2 to this episode about traveling, let us know. Message us, comment below. Okay. This is Casual Corner
Yes.
Chats. Bye.
Bye.